Well, I cleaned up the text a little bit to start part 2 off a little bit faster. So let's get to the text. And, oh, need lights. I keep forgetting that part. Since I found 2 verse, 2 verse, 2 verse here, we can get rid of this time around. A vision from Obadiah concerning Edom. I have heard a report from YV. Their envoy was sent to the Armenians, saying, "Rise, let us go against David in battle. Now I'll make you smaller." Usually says, let's see, let us rise and go in battle against David in battle. And the word isn't now, it's but. But I will make you, this was, but I will, it was cut off. So let's use those words. But I will let's see, they might need to go some, but I will make you I can't think of a word here that would be, but I will reduce you. Reduce you from among kingdoms. But I will make you too small to be among the kingdoms. I think that would be better. Too small. But I will make you too small to be called a kingdom. But I will make you small to be called, and I'd have to put it here, and just saying I'm replacing this word here for that word. To be called a kingdom. You are greatly despised by me. Now you are greatly despised by me for the arrogance of your heart. For the arrogance of your heart has deceived you. You said in your heart, we know who it is, so you said in your heart, let us bring David down. Although you were higher like the eagle, although you are higher like the eagle, from there I will bring you down. Like thieves come into you at night to steal until they've had enough. Until grape gatherers come to you, they will not leave. Like grape gatherers. Yeah, I'd have to put word like. Sorry, sometimes I'm trying to correct the text when I'm reading at the same time, so maybe that's why you didn't hear me say if. Like grape gatherers came to you. They would not leave even a gleaning. Like grape gatherers, they will come to you. Like grape gatherers, they will come to you. And not leave even a gleaning. Like grape gatherers, they will come to you and not leave even a gleaning. Those two were connected. How Eashoo will be ransacked, how Edom will be ransacked. This Edom will be ransacked, for his hidden treasures will be plundered. All of them. Now that doesn't mean that they're connected. So this is all just a double text here. I'm going to reduce all that to 8 point. Say that's out. Because you said in your heart, let us bring David down, although you were higher, although you are higher like an eagle, from there I'll bring you down. Like thieves coming to you at night to steal until they've had enough. Edom will be ransacked. Where's hidden treasures? Well, where's hidden treasure? Yeah, doesn't need more than one treasure. Will be plundered. All men allied with you send you to the rivers for borders, and the beast will deceive you and weaken you. That's grouped together. I will not on that day destroy all the men of Edom, but your might will be shattered. Tenement and everyone for him will be cut off. His might, because I'm trying to now say that this is our Creator and he's speaking to people. He's not talking to him. So, oh, he is greatly despised. I will make him smaller. No, He is despised by me, for the arrogance of his heart has deceived him. He said in his heart, let us bring David down, although he is higher like an eagle. From there I will bring him down. Like thieves coming to him at night to steal until they had enough. Edom will be ransacked, for his hidden treasure will be plundered. Okay, I got it to first person finally. It took a little bit going back and forth. All men allied with him will send him to the river's borders, and the men at peace with him will deceive him and weaken him. Whoops, not that key. Too many macros. I will not on that day destroy all men from Edom, but his might will be shattered, but their might, because that's both of them. But their might will be shattered. Tenement and the guy that he went to talk to at that time. It's got to be something like a bead or something like that. There's like 3 kings that were descendants, and they all just changed a little bit of their name. Tenement and let me see here. Let me copy this word here, Armenians, and put that back down here where it's truthful. Tenement and and then get rid of this and be truthful by putting it in here. Tenement and the Armenians will be cut off. They will be covered with shame and cut off forever. They will be covered with shame. Now, I got the kingdom up here that they're already going to be smaller. Bring them down. To be called a kingdom, right? Okay. I needed to look at this because I'm going to try to put this down here. For they will be covered with shame and cut off as kingdoms forever. And I'm trying to think of the story because, yeah, it's going to be true if I do that, for the simple fact that what happens next after David and then Solomon, there's only about 40 years, so this guy's giving them they're giving them their assets. They never did become a kingdom again. The Chaldeans above them, I think David went and collected from. They're up there by the Euphrates River. Armenians are kind of offset from them. And that's reversed, so it should be like this to you. um, they will be covered with shame and cut off as kingdoms forever. Okay. Now this is the second part. On the day that you stood aloft, on the day that stranger carried off his wealth, the foreigners entered his gate and cast lots for Jerusalem. They were two, you two were among them. Did not gloat over your brother's day. That just doesn't make sense. There was a remnant of Edoms left. And when they conquered Jerusalem, it was the strongest kingdom down there. So once they destroyed that, the next kingdom down is Israel or Edom, and then Egypt. I think Edom here, after it's been destroyed, there's still a remnant left. And I know that they came over and started, whoever was left by Nebuchadnezzar set up as a governor to be over them. These guys came over and killed him as a revenge. And then they gathered together to Jeremiah to find out if they should leave, if they're going to keep coming and raiding them or not. And he said, stay here. So yes, this is pretty truthful. On the day you stood aloft, on the day that strangers carried off. So these words have to come from that time. This is years after here. On the day that you stood aloft, on the day that strangers carried off. On the day you stood. But they weren't, this is kind of hard to say that they stood aloft, because our Creator sent Assyrians down, or Nebuchadnezzar down. So on the day that the strangers, it wasn't strangers, he told them who it was going to be. So the day that Babylon, strangers has to be Babylon. Yeah, Babylon carried off. Took. On the day that you stood aloft. Now this could be speaking of Egypt not coming to help them. On the day that Babylon took, on the day that Babylon took off his wealth, and on the day took he wasn't really that wealthy of a king that I know of. On the day Babylon took on the day Babylon, I want to get rid of the words his wealth. And then on the day that one took captives, took them as captives. The foreigners entered now I know that this guy was, I think it was this guy, although you would recognize the name with the IE or IAH at the end. You look it up. The foreigners entered his gates. They didn't cast lots for Jerusalem. They appointed some captives. They appointed see, this is what's good about knowing the text inside and out, because you have to understand the Chaldeans came down and sided with them, but what Nebuchadnezzar was doing, he wasn't when he didn't conquer him, he said, just join us, and then you'll partake in the ransacking. So he appointed them to he appointed captives from Jerusalem. They didn't cast lots for him. One who is under him who would not have done that. And appointed captives from foreigners enters gate. And appointed captives from Jerusalem. You two were among one of them. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. The text doesn't say they were strong enough to do anything. But I know there's not much in the text there at that time too, because it is the ending and it goes into Daniel. You two were as one of the do not gloat over your brother's day. You two were one of them, and you did gloat. This can't be right. This has to be right. Talking about one of them, and you gloated over your brother's day. Well, that was actually our Creator's destruction of Jerusalem. And you rejoiced, yes. Well, I could do this. Grab all that. Oops, get rid of this and you rejoiced. Oops. And you gloated. And you rejoiced over the sons from Judah. Thinking those get tied together. You boasted. I do not boast. This is not past tense. This has happened. It wouldn't be a warning. He wouldn't. Our Creator didn't prophesize a warning for other people what to do and not to do. Now I know that he did prophesize of their destruction a lot, but not the only one that he didn't do, and that was Nebuchadnezzar, because he told him that's what I'm going to do. In fact, that's the reason why Jeremiah wasn't killed by Nebuchadnezzar's captain that he sent down, because he told him, he says, well, you were the one telling them that we were coming in, and you were right, so yeah, we'll let you free and do what you want. Gates for my people. Goes to the distress and entered the gates for my people. And this here is these do nots are all do, but they couldn't go in there and take them on their own. Nebuchadnezzar got his share. These guys were little, if anything. You boast of their distress, the gates for my people. You stood at the fork of the roads and killed their remnant. Remnant. I think that's the right one. Remnant. They wouldn't stick them in prison. They were killing them. They weren't strong enough to put them in prison because they. Now, what part of this story is wrong? If I'm thinking anything, it would be that this is not Edom that they're talking to. This would have been Chaldeans. And that's what this is about. On that day, you did not stand aloof. And this goes together. And then this will go together. So these don't need to be here. As you've done, we done to you. Your deeds, not dealings, your deeds. Now I have to keep in mind that these are Chaldeans or Edom. And this, because there's nothing here to connect that verse here, so that those have to go together if they're going to do like that. Now, because just as you drank on my hill, all nations will drink it. That's just not true. But on Mount Zion there will be those who escape. Mount Zion happens to be Psalms 48, only New American Standard Bible. It's in the description below where heaven is located and tells you what Mount Zion is. They're trying to put Mount Zion on the earth when it's actually the North Star is the peak, and above the North Star is where our Creator lives, or where heaven is at. But on Mount Zion there will be those who escape. Your deeds will return on your own head. Yeah, this here is just out of place. Because what's drinking on the hill? I mean, this is just, and his hill is where his house was set up, so that doesn't make any sense. No, as it has been done to you, will be done to you, and your deeds will return on your own head. Because the house of Jacob will be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. This is out. And the word then is because. Because the house of Jacob, the tribes, the sons, well, the tribes, to refer to the promised land, the way it was made in the tribes from Joseph will be a fire in the now that would tie that to this one here, and that would be a group of 4. This is repeating of what we have up on top. This has to be not no, but only survivors. The only survivors. This has to be from. The house has to be kingdom. For Esau's. For YHVH has prophesied. And has prophesied this. Okay. Now, when I do a cleanup, I need to do it again. And we'll go over the text because I can see that the last part is actually speaking back to the first part, but the middle part, that's not making any sense to me. I guess I'll just clean it up here in front of you. This takes usually a little bit, but sorry, but I gotta do it, otherwise I'd have to. There's a way to do it, but this I think is going to be easier and quicker. See, we've got these groups here that are different just in style-wise as a format. Although, no, I guess not. I forgot I put them together here. Oh, these are all out. So I have to really concentrate now to see if they're all one great big long one. And okay, so let me just get rid of all the green here. Okay, vision of Obadiah concerning Edom. I have heard a report from, this has to connect with this. I have heard a report from YV. Their envoy was sent to the Armenians, saying, "Arise and let's go against David in battle. But I will make him small to be. I will make him too small. Too small to be called a kingdom." And those hooked together pretty good. Now he is greatly despised by me, for the arrogance of his heart has deceived him. Well, this is a group here. I'm sorry, I was reading ahead and I'm trying to think that if this is grouped, where am I sticking these? So usually when that happens, then it becomes like this. This is the answer here. And then this is the title of what's going on. And then this makes sense. Now, that page break drives me crazy because I can't see the spacing. I need that spacing to be something more than that to see what's going on. So let me quickly put these spacings in. Well, Oh, I hate that when I do this. Okay. A vision from Obadiah concerning Edom. Title. Okay. I have heard a report from YV. Their envoy was sent to the Armenians, saying, "Arise, let us go against David in battle. But I will make him too small to be called a kingdom. Now he is greatly despised by me, and the arrogance of his heart has deceived him." Okay. Let us say he said in his heart, "Let us bring David down, although he was high, although he is higher like the eagle, from there I will bring him down. Like thieves coming to him at night to steal until they had enough. Edom will be ransacked, for his hidden treasure will be plundered. All the men allied with him will send him to the rivers. The king allied with them. King allied with him. That sounds better. The king allied with him will send him to the rivers for borders, and the men at peace with him will deceive him and weaken him. I will not on that day destroy all the men from Edom, but their might will be shattered. Tenement and the Armenians will be cut off. They will be cut off with shame and cut off as kingdoms forever. Now this is definitely at a different time. So I don't know if this is a person saying this or this is our creator. But this here text, I'm going to move up. And what I do for this, I usually just put like yellow. And then I put it here. And I put it in yellow. And when I go to clean it up next time, I'll remove the yellow. They will be covered with shame and cut off as kingdoms of earth. There will only be survivors from their kingdoms. See, now when I put it together, this needs to be their kingdoms. For YV has prophesied this. That sounds like a good prophecy written. Okay. So now we have this, but this text here, like I said, this is on the day that you did not. This is talking to either the Chaldeans or the remnant of, because this is the only time that they were destroyed. The sons of Judah were in the day of their destruction. So this needs to be part 2. You know, what do I label that? I can't. I don't know how to start this. But these, okay, I'm going to put it as words of Jeremiah, because he was the only one. Or Haggai, because if they returned, okay. Words by Jeremiah or Haggai. Okay, now that does this. I mean, that's just, I have to now go up here and just start up here. Whoops. Let me copy this. No, I don't want to. I don't want to even do that. I'm just going to say a piece of yeah, let's see, I should give it a different color to know that there are two pieces here. Okay, don't need to copy that. But this is what we're going to have is the end text here. And we know that this is going to go, part of it's going to go way up with David, next to David. And this one here, let's get that underneath that line and do that. Okay, now I'm going to try to make it small enough to put it on the screen. Yeah, it might still need to be cleaned up, but right now this is what it's going to be like for a long time. I'm going to go through all the other, I'm kind of going to do parallel here. Some of these are very short, so I'm going to get to the short ones, but Jeremiah and Isaiah are so long, and I think Ezekiel is so long. Others are going to take me, like the shorter ones are going to take me probably 4 hours, but those long ones are going to take me probably a good week to do each of them. But wherever that text goes, it doesn't go here. And that's the fun part about finding the actual text. And that would mean this would be more cleaned up, could direct change who we're talking about. Congratulations, eh?